are talking surprise cut candidates on this edition of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. You're fired. We will break down 4 potential players that the Seahawks could shock the world and ultimately move on from this offseason. We'll go over the players. I'll give you my verdict of what I would do with each individual player and their situation in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, though, real quick, folks, I want to make sure that our audience here on Seahawks Today, that the 12s, show some love and support for our new fearless leader, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, Mike Macdonald, as he enters his first year with the Seattle Seahawks. Like today's video to wish him luck, and we want to see him succeed and do nothing but the best with the Seattle Seahawks team. Hit that like button for Mike Macdonald to have some good vibes and we'll get started with today's show. Let's set the scene for you here. The Seahawks cap situation right now is around $5.2 million. And so to put it in the simplest of terms, that is not enough money for the Seahawks for this offseason. When you factor in the rookies that they're going to draft, and you have to pay those guys, and then whatever free agents or trades that they could make, they got to go find some money. And so the Seahawks will need to cut some players in their roster to free up money for these moves that are coming here in the next couple of months. So let's start off with a bang and begin with Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith. Yes. Did I stutter? No, I did not. Geno Smith is the first name on our surprise cut candidates list, and let's tell you why. He enters 2024 at 33 years old, so he's not a spring chicken by any means. And you look at the money, although it's a friendly contract for a quarterback, it is still a lot of money in retrospect to the rest of the Seahawks roster. 2 years remaining with a $31.2 million cap hit in 2024. If they were to move on from Geno post-June 1, you're looking at saving about $22.5 million against the cap. So let's say, I think the most likely scenario, if you were to move on from Geno to cut him, would be if you went for a young quarterback and took on the rookie contract of sorts there, if you were to do that. Geno coming off a down year, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, comparably speaking to what he had a year ago. But what is the verdict on Geno? For up to me, I actually am not cutting Geno Smith. Sorry, I hate to give you a little tease, but if it's my decision, although it's going to be talked about, and this is an idea the Seahawks could do, at the end of the day, I think the Seahawks are best off keeping Geno at least for 2024. Now, I know we haven't heard Mike Macdonald commit to Geno Smith, and John Schneider has never really indicated that Geno was his guy. It was always that Geno was Pete Carroll's guy. But even with that said, let's say you find that young quarterback this year in the draft. You're still better off keeping Geno at least one more year, letting that young quarterback sit behind Geno and learn this system and how the NFL works. It's the recipe that has worked to the best around the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith in Kansas City. Lamar Jackson sat behind Joe Flacco in Baltimore. Tom Brady sat behind Drew Bledsoe. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Brock Purdy sat behind Jimmy Garoppolo. I could keep going and going and going. It's the best system to set up a quarterback to succeed. I would keep Geno personally. What about you guys? Should the Seahawks keep Geno Smith or move on from him? Weigh in our pinned comment today. Why for yes and for no? What would you do with the Seahawks QB? Weigh in and tell us what you think in the comments section. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for the best seats and the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're talking sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time's got it all for you. Let's say you want to get cracking and go to a Kraken game. They got you covered as well. You pick the event you want to go to, find the seat you like, see if you like that seat or not. Maybe you might stumble upon a flash deal of sorts too. And then you're checking out within a matter of moments with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers, including American Express. So download Game Time today and save $20 off your first purchase when you use the promo code Seahawks Chat. What are you waiting for? You're saving money with us. We're giving you away some money here with Game Time. Start saving today. Download Game Time. $20 off. Promo code Seahawks Chat. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. The $20 off for first-time users only. Download Game Time today. You'll be glad you did. Next on our list, another big name, and that is Tyler Lockett, the Seahawks star receiver. Coming off a down year in 2023. Remember, he had that streak going of those 1,000-yard years? That came to an end this year for Tyler Lockett. He enters 2024 at 32 years of age, which is a bit older for a receiver, obviously. And his contract situation, you're looking at him in a deal where he has 2 years left. $27 million appears to be his cap hit for 2024. And if you were to cut him post-June 1, you're looking at saving around $17 million. And this is what we mean of him coming off of a down year. It wasn't a bad year. He had nearly 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. And you had JSN a part of the equation, and so that certainly took away some from Tyler Lockett. And just getting rid of Shane Waldron, you would think Tyler Lockett should improve next year. With all that said, though, my verdict, I'm saying keep him around, but restructuring. Hear me out on this, folks. I want Tyler Lockett on my team, but I don't want him on my team for a $27 million cap hit. Here's the deal you say to Tyler Lockett. Look, Tyler, we've been good to you. We want you to retire as a member of the Seattle Seahawks, but we can't afford that $27 million cap hit. That just ain't going to work here. We want you to stay here. We don't want to have to move on from you. You're going to have to take a pay cut and work with us to restructure this contract to stay here. And Tyler Lockett, I mean, you're not going to find a better situation than what you have in the Seattle Seahawks. And I don't think anyone else really would want to pay Tyler Lockett that money either. So he's best off taking the pay cut, sticking around, and everybody's happy. Another big name for the Seahawks on our surprise cut candidate list, we find Quandre Diggs at this spot. Diggs enters 2024 at 31 years of age and arguably had the worst season he's ever had with the Seattle Seahawks this past year. He's got 1 year remaining and a huge cap hit ahead, $21.2 million this upcoming season. And if he is released or traded, then you're looking at around $11 million that could be saved if you move on from Quandre Diggs. Now, his statistics this past year only had 1 interception, 5 pass breakups. And if you need to take it a step further, we've showed you these before, but the PFF grades, the nerd numbers on Quandre Diggs, he was just bad in about every category this past year for Seattle. My verdict, personally, I think Quandre Diggs is cooked. I think he's lost a step. I would cut Quandre Diggs. Now, I would also cut Jamal Adams. We've already had that discussion, so we're not mentioning him today because he's not a surprise cut candidate. But Julian Love is about the only safety that's worthwhile on this Seahawks team for now. You need to go find fresh, younger blood, and you can do better than what we saw from Quandre Diggs. And that cap hit, too much money for me. Bye. Pick one to cut. Lockett or Diggs? I'm choosing Diggs, personally. What do you guys think? Which one would you cut between those two veterans? Type T for Tyler Lockett, Q for Quandre Diggs. Let us know in the comment section below. Folks, for the latest happenings on your favorite team, Seattle Seahawks Today has you covered as we are following what's going on with this coaching staff. We're talking trades, free agency, NFL draft, and more each and every day. Seahawks Today is your off-season headquarters. We're bringing you live shows once a week as well, and anything major going on, we are going to bring you a video as quick as we can with the best breaking news coverage around. Subscribe now, turn on notifications so you never miss a moment here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. Last on our list, we find Will Dissly. Now, I'll say this much. Will Dissly was held back in the previous regime under Shane Waldron and Pete Carroll. But even with that said, there is still some things you can't deny here. The cap hit for next year $10 million is a lot of money for a lack of production from Will Dissly. And if you save him, if you release him or trade him, you're looking at saving $7 million, which could certainly go a long way, okay? So with that said, what did you get out of Will Dissly last year? 17 catches, 172 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, two things can be true at once. I do believe that Will Dissly is better than his numbers indicate. That is true. But I believe the Seahawks can do better for a cheaper price than Will Dissly. I'm cutting Will Dissly because I believe that whether it's through the draft or free agency, the Seahawks can go get a better tight end for a cheaper price than what Will Dissly is. For me, I'm cutting Will Dissly, and we're saying bye to him in that case. So, we've gone through 4 players of potential cut candidates. Now, be the tough judge here. Name a player the Seahawks should cut. Be real with me now. Who's a player the Seahawks should cut? Weigh in the comment section and let us know what you think. So to recap, our surprise cut candidates, Geno Smith, we're saying he's a candidate, but we'll keep him. Tyler Lockett, we want to restructure. Take a pay cut, Tyler, and you can stay. Quandre, sorry, it's been a good run, but you're out. Will Dissly, will cut him as well. And let's say, for all intents and purposes, we did decide to cut all 4 guys. We're looking at saving close to $58 million. And that gives you a ton of flexibility at that point in time if you were to do that. If you enjoyed today's show, if you want to wish Mike Macdonald good luck in his first year with the Seattle Seahawks, like today's video, we certainly appreciate it. And we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.